It's lit! Welcome back to 60 Minutes. In this segment of the show, we will be discussing international organizations with a specific focus on the G20, OECD, NATO, and the UN. We have representatives from those organizations present with us right now. Let's take a look as to who they are.
Hi, I'm Paul Martin, Finance Minister of G20.
So, tell me what the G20 is all about.
Well, the G20 was established in the wake of the Asian financial crisis of the late 1990s. The group of 20 consists of finance ministers, central bank governors of advanced emerging economies. We meet once a year and talk about ensuring the stability of financial markets to promote economic corporations.
So, why is it important?
Well, according to the government website of Canada, understanding financial crisis is a key role in prospering the economy. Therefore, understanding historical financial crisis, such as the Asian financial crisis, is a step towards preventing it.
What are some of the advantages and disadvantages of being a part of your organization?
Summits are held every year talking about important financial matters, and G20 is also supported by various international organizations such as World Bank, IMF, WTO, but some of the disadvantages is that it takes a lot of effort for the Sherpas to maintain contact over the course of the year, and it is a very time-consuming process, and we do spend a lot of money on it, but overall it is for the better.
Hi, I'm Michelle Darray, and I'm the Canadian representative of the OECD.
So, what is the OECD?
The OECD is an acronym for the Organization for Economic and Cooperation and Development, and it is an organization in which the goal is to promote economic growth, prosperity, and sustainable government. Currently, there are 35 members in it, obviously including Canada, and the OECD helps governments of different countries to compare policy experiences, seek answers to problems, and monitor policy. Well, the OECD is a very important organization because it focuses on different factors such as environmental, economic, and social, and doesn't solely focus on one, such as GDP, something like that. We also recognize that the development of high-quality shared information about how a society is doing is needed in order to ensure that decision-making is responsive at all levels.
So, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of being a part of OECD?
Well, we'll start with the pros. By joining the OECD, your country will be known as a welcoming democratic country because those are the type of countries that the OECD does attract. It also gives countries a chance to strengthen ties and be given access to each other's expertise and statistics and opinions.
And some of the disadvantages?
Okay, so the cons to joining the OECD include the money you have to give in, but that's common with all organizations, not just OECD. Also, some countries may find different factors, negative to them, such as environmental factors. The first visual, we can see that the 10 most educated countries in the world, they're all part of the OECD organization. If you look at this second chart, we can see that the energy-related carbon dioxide emissions by country and region, and OECD countries do have significantly lower emissions, that it's between 10 and 15 billion metric tons as opposed to non-OECD countries, which can go up to almost 45 billion metric tons.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Carrie Buck,
Nice to meet you
ambassador
too.
of NATO.
So, what is NATO?
So NATO basically stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is a political and military organization designed to promote the stability of the North Atlantic area and safeguard the citizens of the countries.
So, why is it important?
So NATO is an important organization for the world because it gives countries and citizens who are a part of it a sense of relief and protection. So if one country is in danger, we take it as we're all in danger and under threat, and we strategize to help one another.
What are some of the advantages and disadvantages of being a part of NATO?
Yeah, so some of the advantages of being a country that's a part of NATO is that you receive full military protection. So you receive protection on air, ground, at sea level, And we also send in specialized units to help with specific situations. So no matter the size or the importance of the situation, all countries a part of the organization receive help.
So what are some of the disadvantages?
Honestly, there aren't really that many disadvantages besides the fact of having your own country's military go in and fight someone else's battle. But other than that, there's no disadvantages, only for any other country that's not part of NATO.
Thank you.
Yeah, so basically you can follow up on further information on the international government site, and it lists all of our accomplishments and
the
background.
countries who are part of yours,
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was great talking to you.
Hi, I'm Andre Blanchard, Canadian Ambassador of the UN.
Hi, it's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So, you're from the UN. Tell me a little bit about it. What is the UN?
Well, according to the official United Nations website, it's an international organization that was created to resolve international conflicts and to form policies on international issues, that is, without causing wars. And it's also to meet certain goals and purposes. It was created in 1945 after World War II with intentions of preventing a third world war. And it started off with 51 participating countries, but now has 193.
So, why do you think it's important?
Well, it gives countries the opportunity to discuss international matters at a global scale, according to the Canadian government website. And it promotes world peace, which is why the charter was created. And it also maintains security and develops relations among nations and provides a forum for bringing countries together to meet the UN's purposes and goals.
So, tell me about some of the advantages and disadvantages of being a part of the UN.
Well, some of the advantages would be aid and assistance. So if a country is suffering from a natural disaster like a tsunami or a hurricane, then the United Nations would send help. Also, it strengthens human rights within a country. So by joining the UN, we are bound by rules and principles of the organization. So a common fundamental basic rule is to respect human rights of people regardless of their race, sex, or religion. So that plays a role of importance in strengthening the democracy of nations. And disadvantages would be like financial support they have to provide. That's a lot, but that's the same for like all organizations, but obviously it's not a positive. And they may not agree with the policy set out by the organization.
So, conflict of interest, I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
So in this graph that you're about to see, it shows that Canada is ranked 55 out of the 108 troop contributing countries. And so even though Canada doesn't provide like that much financial support, they still contribute to the UN peacekeeping budget. And Canada contributed 3% of the 2006 assessed contributions to UN peacekeeping budget, which was $4.75 billion.
In relation to the big question, do you guys think Canada is an important player?
I do think Canada is an important role player for the G20 organization because we help to provide the framework for strong, sustainable, and balanced growth. We help the overall development, and our expert groups have financial safety nets to support financial innovation and energy.
Well, Canada is most definitely an important role player. Relating it back to OECD, Canada is one of the founding countries. Apart from contributing ideas to the organization, Canada hosts a lot of important meetings, such as in 2006, we hosted the launch of the revised job strategy. Apart from this, Canadian Donald Johnson was actually the first non-European Secretary General of OECD. You can find all that information on the national website, the official website of OECD.
I believe that Canada is an extremely important world player in the organization of NATO. as we act as a peacekeeping nation, which is very unique compared to other countries. Although we do get involved in certain situations and act in fighting, our main goal is to go into countries, negotiate, delegate, and resolve problems with our words, not destructing any countries or anything like that. We also try to bring in refugees to help solve problems.
I think Canada is an important world player in the UN because Canada played a role of importance in drafting the UN Charter, which is an international treaty that sets out basic principles of international relations. And Canada also provides financial support to this day, and they proposed peacekeeping in the 1950s.
Well, thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for joining us. See you again on 60 Minutes.